Hello and welcome! Oh look, my camera's cut off. That's going to be a bit of an issue and I'm going to have to fix that later. Welcome! It's really great to kind of be here again, of course. For those of you who are watching on Facebook, hello and welcome. This is AEL. Almost got the acronym wrong somehow. It's 3 letters. You'd think I'd do a bit better with it, but yeah, we're back doing council events. This one is going to be the Riverina Council, and I am so excited to be kind of working on this again. Unfortunately, my ever amazing, brilliant genius of Rocket League, Max Formal, isn't going to be here today, which is a bit of a blow, but you got me. That's all right. The reason some of the tech and some of the visuals might look a little tricky is because I did have to sort of set it up with a few hours to go, so a few things I kind of overlooked, but I promise you it'll all be a great experience if you just bear with me. Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. We've got a few teams we don't know as much about. These aren't sort of like some of the players we know from like university events and things like that, or even some around the pro scene, but I still expect this to be a fantastic series of games with a lot of heart, and yeah, I'm keen to get into it pretty quickly, but before we do, we have to thank our fantastic, fantabulous, amazing sponsors. And we are a bit behind schedule, so I'm probably going to go through these a little bit faster. I'm sorry. But first of all is going to be Char Time. Oh, I misread that one. Char Time. Fresh iced tea. Try a new range at your local store. Absolutely amazing. Over 120 Char Time breweries with a commitment to quality ingredients, mix-ins, and a flair for innovative flavor combinations. Let us know on social media how you what your favorite combinations and things like that are. Second of all, oh sorry, I was supposed to give you the little preview. There's Char Time. Hello there. What's your favorite flavor? Of course. Second of all is going to be Predator. Every time I talk with people who know more about computers than I do, they always say Predator. It's good stuff. So yeah, conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. The literal game, or, you know, any other you feel like you might be into. They are the gaming PC partner of AEL. Conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming. Predator puts power and precision into your hands. Elevate your gaming experience in every way with quality performance. And then AOC. AOC monitors the best viewing experience, crystal clear displays, incredible refresh rates, and arranged to fit your needs. Have a look on their website, au.aoc.com. And next is Indomie. Feed your game with Indomie. People who watch the AEL regularly will know that's my favorite line. Also, let us know on social media what your favorite tricks are to get that perfect bowl of Migarang. And last, but very much not least, are Rig headsets. What it takes to win. Rig headsets deliver superior audio for competitive gamers and streamers at all levels. They also make your music and your YouTube videos sound that much better. Trust me, they're fantastic. All right, with all of that out of the way, we are going to be looking at our first game. I have that one up ready to go. I believe the players are getting pretty excited. Yep, they're all here. I am sort of doing, again, a few things, so bear with me. We'll have to give them a little message that we're about good to go. This first one is Bangladesh 1G versus Wagga Warriors. And to be honest, I see no reason why we don't just get into this one right away. So, I'm going to give them the ping. And yeah, we should be underway any second now. I'm going to click the spectate button to make sure I'm in the right spot. And there we are. Yeah, we don't have as many of the classic tournament players and things like that, so, you know, bear with us. A lot of these players aren't as used to the sort of some of these things, but here we have our 2 wonderful teams. And I'll flick back into the game so you have sound. My apologies. And here are our teams. B1G are going to be Piva, Frank Hall, Donny Greltz, and their opponents Wagga Warriors, Top Harrow 911, Trexor, and VP8H. I'm just gonna call them Alpha. I hope that's okay. And right off the gate, it's actually B1G. They're doing really well for themselves. Bangladesh 1G picking up the first game. Of course, this is the first game in the series. Ooh, Alpha. Very, very quick return there. Lovely. Lovely stuff. And yeah, we are finally back into the action, and it's kind of exciting. I'm impressed with what I've seen from these 2 teams. Quick 1-1 trade. Oftentimes, when you see competitive teams and whatnot come into these series, they're very slow, they're very calculated, they're very okay, I've got to give my opponent respect. Where are they going to, where are they going to hit me from this time? Fantastic answer again. We've seen back and forth tit for tat, 1 for 1 for 1. And it was Frank Cole to set this one up. Great neutralization of the kickoff. Frank Cole just slams it straight down the middle of the field. And, we're literally... So for those of you who don't know, Rocket League time, it pauses whenever you score a goal. So we've only actually had 11 seconds of game time so far, and we're already 3 goals in. This is the sort of action I like in my Rocket League games. Donny Greltz trying to make a play through the corner. Almost managed to make it work. Didn't quite get the secondary angle on an Alpha, winning out in that 50-50 contest. Pretty well as well. Ball does go back to defense, so right at the moment, the Wagga Warriors, they kind of want to find some sort of clearance out. Donny Greltz in a perfect position to pick that one up, put a bit more pressure on the defense. The ball's going to waterfall right in front of goals. Fantastic defensive effort there from Tough. They did a huge job to get that one out to the corner. Alpha's going to be able to run this, gets it past 1, gets it past 2, and Piva does put that one in a worse position for the attackers, but hasn't found a big clear as the ball is still just going to hang around in this mid-pitch area. Once again, Wagga, they've managed to pick... Wagga Warriors specifically, I should say, because this is a Wagga event. They are, kind of holding this... being held... They are kind of being held back on defense, I should say. And right at the moment, it's their game to equalize. Donny Greltz, Piva, both going up... both going up for that play. Good touch there in the aerial defense right above the goal. If you do let that one go off that backboard, that's a pretty good scoring opportunity for your opponents. Piva puts this one into the left field. Donny Greltz actually gets to it really, really fantastically. It bounces just off the corner, not quite on the angle there. Bit of a physical contest there between Top and Piva. Viper, it goes through to... Sorry, Alpha. I feel like that's a better way to put it. Alpha does get the pickup on that one. Right at the moment, like I said, it's the Wagga Warriors. It's the Warriors trying to find some sort of big clearance out here. This might help them. That awkward touch between Top and the attacker, who I didn't quite see the name of. They're both kind of put the ball in a pretty good spot. Frank Cole almost with a dribble of the century to pull that one down, just carrying it straight through the air at the moment. Here we are, Warriors finally get the clearance they might have liked. Bangladesh 1K. They're kind of keeping this defensive effort nice and tight. They have to, they've put us straight back up the other field. There's a demo coming onto Trex as well, which is going to help out a fair bit in creating attacking pressure, but that respawn timer, it's pretty low in Rocket League, so you have to make that play work very quickly. Alpha goes up, and actually it's Trex who puts the ball out eventually. It was a bit of a pinch almost, I think, off the attacker. Trex doing a great job of setting up this attack, has to get it past Donny Greltz, or find some sort of passing situation. Top goes straight for the 1v1, wins that one out, but Piva does pick it up off the defense, so... Big attempt at a clearance can come through. Francoli wins the 50. Actually, no one tried contesting that play. And it's going to be up to Alpha to put that one in the corner. I like the fact the Warriors, they've been holding on well in defense. I mean, Bangladesh have not been shy at throwing attacks towards them. And it's, it's been pretty good. I've liked that continuation, that rotating through, not overextending on your attack, making sure you have the ability to pull the defensive player back, but still going for those strike after strike, making sure that you're keeping the pressure on, which is a phrase a lot of people get a bit sick of us using, but it's true, pressure is what wins you games. Keeping the ball in the attacking half is the first goal to really sort of being able to lock out this attack. Alpha going to play off the backboard. This could be absolutely massive. There it is. Top just gets a connection, and with 1 minute 20 left, we see the scores equalize. This is very much a classic sort of Rocket League situation. You hold on by 1 goal for so long, and then it just gets taken. Sorry, 1 goal lead, I should say, and then it just gets taken from you in the last couple of minutes. 1 minute 40 left in the clock. You got to expect that at least 1 goal is going to come through in this next time. I mean, we did see a bit of a scoreless period there, but given how quick the teams are, Piva just puts it to the top right corner. That's a fantastic situation. That's like the perfect place to put it. If you have a look here, it's so hard for the defenders to get to unless they already have someone coming off the rotates. That kickoff goal was brilliant from the side of Bangladesh 1K. They put, 1G. Whoops. Bangladesh 1G put themselves back in control of this game at the moment. They go for a pinch off the wall. Piva's looking really good at the moment. This is definitely a player who's had some experience with Rocket League. Clearance of the backboard by Alpha does get them a fair bit of space, and they get the secondary touch. It's Donny Greltz who's going to be trying to play the 1v1 there. Alpha, unfortunate touch there, just jinxed over the top of their buddy. Doesn't quite work out. Piva tries to go for the contest. Gets a little bit close on the play and sort of gets stuck in no man's land. If you go up, you can aggress the ball. If you stay back, you might have a chance to clear it. But if you're in between the two, it can get a little bit rough. 1 minute left on the clock right at the moment. Piva puts it straight on target, just goes a little bit wide. There was a defender there, I believe it was Top, who's now going to try and make this clearance out. Piva puts it on target. Trex goes for a big jump. The ball's right in front of goals. Can you clear it out in such a dangerous position? Yes! It's the Warriors keeping this game within 1 with a great, fantastic effort on the scramble. Alpha's going to try and ping this one down the field. It's just Piva, the defender, who's going to give a big return as well. Donnie, can you get the redirect? That might just seal it. 35 seconds left to go. 2 goals for Bangladesh 1G, and they looked so good in making that big passing play across the field. For those of you who aren't as familiar with Rocket League, and I mean, this is something which it does happen in a lot of other sports, so I'm sure a lot of you will be familiar with this sort of thing. But when you have that player pushed way further up on the field, if you have someone pressuring your opponent's goal, any clearance can become extremely likely to get you a goal yourself. So here we are, Piva actually puts the ball way up high. I mean, Trex with a really good job to hang off that backboard, get some, get a good angle on clearing that one out. A knock from Trex. A bump was really good, just takes the attacker off their feet. Another classic Rocket League strategy. 9 seconds to go though. I think this one might be a little bit done. Yeah, there's no way you're scoring 2 goals in 3 seconds. I'm sorry, Warriors, but they can come back to this one potentially. Ball timer hits 1 second, I should say, and there it is. Bangladesh 1G taking out game 1 in a really solid fashion as well. Here are a few stats to look through. And yeah, these are pretty exciting games. This is a pretty exciting series so far. For those of you who don't know, I'm familiar with Rocket League. We tend to play games in a best-of-5 format. Sorry, I'm assuming that people aren't familiar with Rocket League, but I want this to be an accessible stream. But yeah, we always do a best-of-5. That was our first game, and we're going to update the scores just now. It was Bangladesh 1G who took that one. They get a point. Not 0-1 points, 1 point. There we are. Beautiful. Love it. All right. So yeah, that was a really good effort actually. People putting up a couple of goals, got the saves as well. So many shots coming through, and I think this is the distinguishing factor. Scores get taken away just as I was about to talk about them, but it was 10 shots to I think 3 or 4 for the side of the Warriors. Here we are. So the Warriors didn't have nearly as many attempts on the shot as Bangladesh did. Attempts on the goal as Bangladesh did. And it's the classic phrase, you know, you've all heard it, good old Gretzky with the you miss every shot you don't take. It's very true. It's incredibly true in a game like this. Top, though, carries it from the kickoff. We're starting to see one of those aggressive starts we saw before. And I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of into it. Kind of into it indeed. And this kind of plays to the point I was going to make during that last game, where if you have one player pushed up behind your opponent's defense, or at least, you know, kind of close to the goal, any clearance out can become a pass to that player, which can be a quick redirect, which can then become an easy goal. Now, that wasn't exactly what happened there. It was kind of a bit different, but that's the fundamentals of how that goal worked. Frank Cole trying to put this one right in front of the goal for Piva. That was a great setup, but an equally great defensive interception there from, I think it was Top. Now the ball is in the Warriors attacking half, and Trex just scores another one, and Warriors punch back really quickly. In that last game, they struggled to put together those 2 goals. It wasn't sort of that really easy time we're sort of seeing now, so I love the fact they're coming back with more energy, more aggression. I'm just impressed. I'm really impressed with sort of the style they're bringing. As it is, you know, we saw how well their opponents, Bangladesh 1G, can answer back. But they still kind of have to do it, you know. Plenty of time on the clock, but a good little buffer worked up by the Warriors. Alpha trying to play on this right-hand side, which has done pretty well for them. Piva leaves that ball, potentially trying to threaten a pass or some sort of high-angle shot. He is going to be able to be rewarded with it, though, because they get the contact anyway. I believe that was off that first touch. Piva's speed and rotations have been pretty well, pretty good. I mean, the whole team has managed to establish some good passing plays and some good sort of back and forth in that regards. Whereas I think some of the awareness and sort of game understanding, field sense from the side of the Warriors has just been that much cleaner. And that's a really impressive thing. That's something which really does become a fundamental of Rocket League. But then again, that sort of passing coordination looks pretty good. Here it is. Almost an attempt. Piva not quite there. That was a fantastic shot on the goal, though. Putting that pressure on once again. It's how Bangladesh won that last game. Right now, Piva tries to flick that ball up, just grounded down by Donny Greltz. Set up for Piva once again. That tight rotate was so good, and Trex just could not get to that shot. Fantastic effort there. So I'm just going to fix up the overlay very, very quickly for 1 sec. There we go. But yeah, a fantastic effort there. Just putting the ball in exactly the right spot for Piva to be able to bounce over and sort of flick that one down. That's just a fundamentally good goal. Here we are on board with Piva again, and it takes it back to 1 goal. You saw before how volatile a 1-goal lead in a game like Rocket League is. So you always want to try and find a 2-goal cushion, which of course the Warriors had before. Tex doing a really good job of sort of getting that inside rotate on the attacker, putting a bit of threat on them, but there's a demo on the back line. Alpha's out, the goalkeeper was not there. But, the attack wasn't quite fast enough. Great pinch from Alpha. I think it was off Piva, actually. And they put the ball in a pretty risky position. 50 goes into the corner, defensive corner, so the Warriors will be pretty happy with that, but they've got to get back and get a defense. Piva puts it across the face. No third player there to pick it up. Frank Cole goes for a contest, doesn't get the better of it, really. Top arrow sets a pass up to Alpha. This is really, really nice stuff seeing so far, but Alpha not quite able to hold on to it. Piva being that big threat, coming off the wall, playing off the board, setting it up right in front of goal almost. Alpha, you have to be able to come back and clear this, but it's an awkward spot, wrong foot at a touch, and Franco brings it back to even as we just about hit the halfway mark in this game too. And of course, I feel like I don't need to remind you, see the scores at the top of your screen. 1 goal to Bangladesh 1G, 1 game going to Bangladesh 1G, Wagga Warriors. Of course, yet to pick up a game. This is only the second, so that makes sense. That's how maths works, And I like the fact that we're seeing a lot of octanes in this game. I like the variety. I like the different types of cars. I like seeing what people can bring through. But the octane is kind of the classic. It shows that all of these players are here to win. It's not 100%. It's not, Octane City. It's not 100%. It's not that's like the only car going, but still, it's good to see these players kind of getting into the meta and being like, all right, we're playing the classic. We're letting our skills decide this game. I kind of like it. Alpha takes a contest there and gets the better of it against Piva as they're going to try and run this down the field. Top Harrow gets great intercept from Donny. Suffers a great intercept from Donny Greltz. Maybe might be a better way to put that one. Donny going off the corner, can flick it off, has the players in the back pocket, but isn't quite able to find the connection. Goes for the shot, but never mind. Piva with a rebound straight into the net, and 3 in quick succession for the side of Bangladesh 1G as they look to take the second game as well. Trex being in the right spot to put that ball, keep that ball out of the net, but not quite able to find an angle off that clear, which is the other important thing, right? It's not just that you keep the ball out of the goal, it's where you put it afterwards. And it's a very hard skill finding those clears. You see it even in professional level teams stuck on defense for sort of half or more of the game. An attempted a pinch though, that was fantastic. They didn't quite get the touch they might have liked, but Top Arrow is still back, still playing that defensive rotate, and is able to keep a clearance going nicely. This is a nice little play from the Warriors. Piva wants to sort of put a bit of a spanner in the works for this one, puts the ball up awkwardly high. Trex gets a touch on that one. It was going a little bit high anyway, I think, but Trex, fantastic defensive effort, comes off the top as well. This Warriors defense is amazing, but they just can't quite make it happen again as Donny's shots are just that much better. Honestly, huge defensive effort from Wagga. So unfortunate they couldn't quite keep it in for a little bit longer. But my gosh, that one defensive sequence, that is like, that's a highlight. You could put that in your resume, I reckon. I don't know where you work, but that's worth it. But yeah, 4-2, 1 minute left on the clock right at the moment. Trex trying to rotate back through this play. Alpha wants to meet this one before it gets too hot. We are seeing the players warm to this series quite intensely. I mean, it is getting close to match point for the side of Bangladesh. So the Warriors probably want to do something soon. I mean, this isn't the last chance they have, but it's getting up there. 48 seconds left. They can at least score some goals. They can keep the momentum, keep themselves warm in this game, keep the mental going. They do stand a chance, but looking like this at this moment, it's probably going to have to be a reverse sweep. Again, 35 seconds on the clock. They can still find a couple of goals. This is Rocket League. Donny goes for that low angle shot. Don't know if that was waterfalling for a teammate or an attempt itself, but it was great. Great angle for either, to be honest. The ball gets pinged straight down. Piva wants to go for that big counterattack, which has worked so well for Bangladesh 1G, but remember that the clock is their friends right now. They don't have to be scoring. They don't have to be putting the ball over the line. They just have to be keeping it out of their own goal. And with 11 seconds, Alpha's going to try and make it. That spoil by Frankel might have just done it for this game as well. 5 seconds remaining. Piva puts it out wide, bounces off the backboard, and with 1 second left, the ball hits the ground, and Bangladesh 1G take another game as we hear the dulcet tones of Smash Mouth. But yeah, that one is, that's going to be 2 in a row picked up for Bangladesh, and they do a fantastic a fantastic showing of coming back into that series. Of course, they were 2-0 down at one point. They take 4 in a row and turn that whole series around. And it's not over for the Warriors. They showed good things. If they can keep that good early flurry of offense going, if they can sort of support each other through the defensive efforts, because the only thing I'd sort of criticize them for is the fact that when they are on defense, often it's one person making a series of hero saves and then not being able to answer all of them. They need to be kind of rotating around the defense a little bit more. So when one person saves the ball, someone else can rotate in. They can come in behind. They can sort of get ready to sort of back up the goalkeeper, I guess. And that means you're not relying on one person to make these hero saves. And if they're able to do that, I can't see a world in which Bangladesh 1G are scoring on them without pulling out something new. And I'm sure they have that something new, but it is sort of the win condition, I guess, for the Wagga Warriors. The ball on target pretty well for a possible goal for Bangladesh again this time. Not quite making it happen just yet. Frankel tries to pull it across, tries to get some sort of centering. Donny gets actually smothered really nicely by Alpha, who isn't going to pick up this play, knows that Piva has a bit of a closer proximity, so he's going to be able to get to it earlier. Piva, again, a great read, picking up that first touch off the ground. Might be able to make something happen here. Not going to happen just there, at least. The jink off the top. Frankel is going to put that ball on target. It comes off the sidebar. Doesn't quite work for him again, but another shot comes straight on target. This one again off the sidebar. Donny Grelts can't make it happen again. This is the Wagga defense we're talking about. They're rotating through more now. They are using kind of the space they've got to Piva. Jukes out one, but isn't able to get the other one. Trex, you need to get that ball quickly. They get to it quickly enough. An attempt by Frankel. Right at the moment, the Warriors are showing this extra defense. They're not double committing. They're not sending 2 players per play. They're actually indexing so well, exactly as much as they need to on the defensive line, and it's working so well for them. They're keeping themselves in this play much better. Donny Grelts goes for the clearance, doesn't quite get a touch on it, but it's okay. Piva gets the first touch, gets it past Alpha, makes a solid run, but no, Trex! Out of nowhere, out of literally left field. I mean, it depends on which side you're looking at it from, but that was such a fantastic rotation through from the defense. The Warriors are so good. Normally when we talk about Oceanic Rocket League, it's let's just see how well these teams can attack. But this has actually been an incredible defensive effort. If I was coaching a team and they made a save like that, I would be buying them a round of soft drink. That was really good. Soft drink because they need to, stay focused, all right? That's my excuse. Frankel puts it up high. That's an awkward one to save, and it goes straight into that top right bin. That's the exact kind of, we talked about that in the previous game as well. That top right corner, so dangerous to save if you don't have someone kind of rotating in. Trex can't get to that one in spite of all of the magic which the side of the Warriors have sort of made so far. Bit of awkward phrasing on that one. But yeah, the Bangladesh 1G. They are a really good attacking side, was basically what I was going to say. That's sort of generally it sits who has a better attack. But in this situation, it really has been the Warriors' defense against the Bangladesh's attacking power, and that's so cool to see. That stylistic clash is fantastic. Huge power on that shot down the field. Donny Grelts might have the ability to go for it. Gets it past one and just pulls it in off the side. Again, another great solo effort off the backboards. Now, we've sort of seen we've seen the Wagga Warriors. That shouldn't be a tongue twister, but apparently it is. We've seen the Wagga Warriors try to chase back 2 goals before. We've seen them try and play back this sort of disadvantage, and it's been a bit of a struggle for them. Their attacking line isn't quite as good as their defensive line outside of those first kickoff goals. If they can make some big momentum happen here, it might look better. Trex puts that one off to the left-hand fielder. 3 of them hang out in the same space. It might give an opportunity to set some sort of pass up top. Tries to get a smother. Didn't quite get the best of it, but they're still on the attack. Trex goes up high, flicks it over the top. Piva is out of the play, so is Donny Grelts. But actually, no, Donny Grelts just gets that corner in time. Top gets a lovely little nudge to keep the defender out of the play for at least a little bit longer. And it buys them time to get the rotation back and set up once again this attack. Pinch not quite getting as much speed as Top might have liked. But at the end of the day, they were able to hold on to possession for longer than they have been in the past. One more clearance could set them up for another attack. Frankel gets a sort of good play. They're using this timing. They're playing slow exactly when they need to, and it's pulling these defenders out, and Donny Grelts just gets another one, and now this is a 3-0 lead, much bigger than we've sort of been seeing before, and that Yeah, it's hard to see. Look, it's hard to see Warriors coming back from this, given the fact that as the game's gone on, their attack has kind of lost a bit of its energy. But if they stick to their defense, if they're able to get some of the clearances we saw in the last few minutes of the play, I really do believe that there is a possibility for them. It's an uphill battle, but a shot like that is a good start. Donny Geraltz flicks this one over the top of Alpha, who's going to try and carry this one out to the corner to create a bit more space, but gets demoed for their troubles. Piva sets up in a good position. Frank doesn't quite get the connection on it. Piva, once again, off the backboard, gives a second opportunity. Frankel just doesn't connect with that one either. I mean, Bangladesh, they are pretty happy just holding on to the timer, holding on to possession right at the moment. They don't have to be scoring at every single opportunity right now. Alpha tries to keep that one in the corner. Good effort, actually, a good cover by Trex. All 6 players on this field, I feel like, are putting in a huge amount of work there. Frankel, just with the gentlest touch, takes a bit of momentum off their run to make sure the ball flicks up just a touch. And it puts it in exactly the right spot. They weren't even coming at it head on. They had to get the angle on that shot as well. So 4-0, 1 minute remaining. It looks like Bangladesh pretty happy with their position in this game. It is, of course, like I said, this is game 3. It's match point. It's a best of 5. All those things, I guess, kind of, work together. Probably some of those were self-evident, but at the moment, Bangladesh, they still want to keep the pressure on right at the moment. They just flick it to the corner, almost Frankel. That was so close. Frankel, at least in this game, has been so close to so many incredible plays that, like, you almost want them to get one more. One more really great shot. Trex actually bounced it over the top of Donny Geraltz. That's fantastic. And maybe we do see a comeback. It's going to be 1 goal every 10 seconds. And I don't know how likely that is. I think it's very unlikely, I think it's fair to say. But yeah, I think the possibility is there, right? Especially with how ferocious this team looks off the kickoff. That one actually goes straight to Top. Top was a little bit far forward on that one. The speed coming in from Piva is fantastic. And they put it straight into the back of the net. That was really good. Yeah, that was just really good. That's it. That was a really fundamental goal. Off the kickoff as well, keeps that 4-goal buffer. And with 29 seconds left to go, I think that's Bangladesh taking our first stream series of this tournament, and it's kind of cool to see. They've done it in a really commanding fashion. They've looked really good. They've taken opponents who've clearly known what they're doing. The defensive line again from the Warriors cannot be understated. I want to see them go forward and keep this on. They do let that one in. That's what we call a cast curse, but yeah, no, it was such a good effort from them to keep holding on the defense. If they're able to kind of maybe work through their attacks a bit more, make them consistent, because like they're good. They can play through the attack. They can set up goals for themselves. It just needs a little more consistency, I'm keen to see that come through. If they can make that happen, I do expect them to see some great things. The 6-1 scoreline. Oh no, it's the famous one. It's the 7-1 scoreline. It's the great meme. You can look that one up yourself. I'm not gonna. We've harped on about it too much in AEL broadcasts. But if that's the way Bangladesh is gonna tie it out, hey. That's fair enough. They've taken command of the entire series. They've looked fantastic doing it. They deserve whatever scoreline they want at this point. That said, again, so much credit to the Warriors. Ball touched the ground. There it is. We're going to end it out with a 7-1 scoreline. And yeah, that was our first best of 5 in this tournament. I'm really excited, actually. This has been a great best of 3. Unfortunate that the Warriors weren't able to put a game on the scoreboard, but huge props to their opponents there, who were able to take that series, and immense credit to their defensive line. It was fantastic. I think if they keep it going, if they keep those sort of things, specific the defense up, but if they do keep those cogs working, I think we can see great things from them in the future. Hopefully they get a few more streamed games. I don't know how the schedule's looking at the moment. We're going to focus on 1 week first. But yeah, huge props to these guys. They played really well. So yeah, we'll have another series though, back very soon, more Rocket League action. Don't know if we'll see a 3 or a full 5-game series. That'd be cool. I'd like to see a full 5-game series in our first stream. But yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for that one. We're gonna have to be right back in a little bit. I'm gonna set up a timer. Got a few more things to do. I'm sorry, I'm working solo on this one, so bear with me. But yeah, I believe we're gonna be right back and bring in some more games in just a sec. here we are. We're back. That was a good first game. I don't know why I'm looking at my mic instead of the camera, but hey, you know, it's just how things are sometimes. Yeah, I really enjoyed that first game. Bangladesh 1G taking it over the Wagga Warriors. Great effort from both teams. The defense from the Wagga Warriors, the offense, attack, I should say, from the side of Bangladesh. Both fantastic. Bangladesh take the 3-0 and well deserved, but we have another series for you here. The group, or the standings at the moment, I should say, are currently on your screen. The Werewolves are going to be taking on Vanguard. And the interesting part about this is that both of these teams so far have won themselves a series. So this is going to be the second match, and one team can't stay undefeated, but one team, I mean, by definition of how numbers work, certainly will. Look, it's going to be an exciting match. I have some high hopes for this one. I hope for a full 5-game series, but by the nature of Rocket League, it can be very hard to tell, you know, it's very hard to tell. It's very unlikely that those things happen given how, like, the slightest difference in skill can really blow out a game. But yeah, thank you so much to the city of Wagga Wagga and for promoting the Riverina region and engaging the community with esports. That was, yes, an exact read, but I didn't get a chance to do it earlier, so I'm sorry. But yeah, I really love these little community events and things like that. You see talent which you don't expect. There are so many players who show up to these tournaments I haven't heard of before, play way better than I could, and I'm just kind of left in awe. So I expect we'll see a little bit more of that one. The teams, I'm sure, are they're waiting very patiently to get into this game. So I'll give them the ping. I'll give them the ready to go. Won't make them wait any longer than they have to. And also, thanks for, like, all the teams so far for sort of being patient, sticking through, and waiting for us to be ready. Because, of course, there's a lot we've got to do with production and whatnot. Give them the good to go ping. There we are. Yeah, there's a lot we've got to kind of do in terms of managing small things, so it does mean there's a bit of a delay sometimes to get into the games, but it looks like they are now. As soon as I hit the word go, there's just players in the games, straight on the pitch. I'm kind of keen for this one. Let's go into game. Let's bring in the sound. There it is. A Werewolves versus Vanguard. Here we are. We should have a look at the players again as well. Oh, the Wizard's hat already with, like, the kind of flowy Japanese characters along the side. I'm a sucker for that, I'm not gonna lie. But there it is, Croaky with a K. Well, we can see that with spelling, because we see it written. Gus, Bus, Tuflord, PKXL for the side of the Werewolves. Cam, Chaotic, and Casper on the side of Van. We have a lot of curse sounds. That's cool, curse sounds are good. There's a reason cool starts with the cur. I don't know, sorry, this is a very weird tangent. But, yes, I'm in the game. For those of you who have not been following so far, or just tuning in to see these two teams, it's a best of 5. First team to win 3 games goes on. Well, it doesn't go on. They get more points for their groups. Both these teams are currently undefeated after 1 series, and of course, that's not going to stay that way for too long. But I am noticing off the bat, they're getting aggressive. They're getting in the face of their opponents. Casper off the backboard, very risky, but Gus putting himself in front of the ball really, really, really well there. PK pulls it up forward and puts it on target pretty well. And it's actually going to be an attempt at a clear coming in from Chaotic. Doesn't get too much off this one. Actually does a pretty good job of passing stuff to Cam. The flip reset almost happens. Chaotic does get a demo on the defender, but it's not going to be enough to get the ball on. Casper does get baited a little bit by that one. Ball comes off the backboard. Gus, be very careful with that. If they take too long over it, you know, they can end up in a bit of an awkward spot with the opponent bearing down on them. But a null score game so far, given how reckless, given how aggressive we're seeing. Oh my god, it's 2 Wizards hats. This is great. They're coordinated. This is amazing. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for, like, a well-coordinated team in terms of the aesthetics, and they've just managed to make it work. But Cam is the one who makes the scoring work. The first goal coming through for this series takes a couple of minutes, but they do get it. And, you know, the first, a journey of 3, potentially 5 games starts with a single goal. That was really awful, and I apologize. But yeah, like, this is good. This is the kind of momentum we want to see built from one of these teams. Normally we see the energy pick up over the course of a series. It definitely happened in the last one, but I like the fact that we're seeing kind of everything thrown at the opponents from both sides. Of course, you know, massive start from Vanguard here. The ping gets put just off the crossbar. Good defensive play coming through But it was, it hasn't managed to find a clear just at the moment. There it is. Croc being able to put the ball at least in the attacking half. They aren't able to hold on possession for too much longer. Casper going to try and play this one off the backboard. Tries to go off the side, but Gus, a good intercept, getting there early, getting proactive on the defensive play. It's like one of the things we always want to see. Chaotic just puts themselves close enough to the ball to smother that one in. And here it is, the setup. I didn't realize that was sort of a pass to themselves. Yeah, off the corner as well. Croc tries to get the... Corky, I should say, tries to get the defensive touch, tries to push that ball out. When you've got a player bearing down on you like that, it's pretty hard to get the ball out. Find some kind of width or find a passing play with your, unless your teammate's there for a quick fire rotate. Chaotic puts this one ball in the center. Caspar gets a good touch on it, actually, to keep it in the middle of the field as Gus tries to play this one up, but again, every time they get a clearance, they lose possession. It sort of feels like that's the trade they're going for. An attempt on the 50 doesn't work out. Massively won by the side of Vanguard. Casper gets a great double touch off the pass as well. Here it is, Chaotic to Cam, to Casper in the air, and they don't hit the ground before getting the rebound off the backboard. This is fantastic, high-level Rocket League. That's the sort of play which, again, makes, makes proper professional coaches just go, oh, yes, satisfying. Love it when a pass play comes together. Casper now playing off the backboard once again and gets a second. Gets a second off the backboard. This player is just unleashed 4-0 right at the moment. And admittedly, there is 2 minutes left on the clock, and anything can happen in Rocket League. But with a starting attack like this, Vanguard looks so good. At the moment, they have 9 shots to none from their opponents. This is a huge effort, and it's weird because it hasn't looked like Vanguard have been getting completely outclassed for much of this. It's not been the case. Casper just finds another one off the back. That's 3 in a row, the hat trick. 100 kilometers an hour as well. That's no mean feat. But yeah, the sort of speed and rotations coming in from Vanguard has just picked up so quickly, and it's not like, for a lot of this game, the Aware Wolves have been completely outclassed. They've had some good defensive efforts, but things like that, small rotations out of the goal, and Casper just gets another one. This player is just ridiculous. Look at this. Casper just baps it in pretty comfortably. A good attempt from PK as well, but, pulling 2 people into that first kickoff might have been a bit of an overinvestment. To be honest, what I want to see right at the moment from the Aware Wolves is just a moment to say, hey guys, we're really losing this game. Like, I don't think we can come back. Let's have some fun with it, keep the mental up, keep the energy going, and kind of come back into the next game of the series. Because that's the best you can do at this point. It's so hard to come back into this, even if you are better than your opponents. Even if you have, like, a notable advantage over them, a scoreline like this is very tricky to come back from, and I don't think they're going to quite have that. Cam, great attempt at the pinch off the ground. As Gus is going to chase this one forward. Caspar tries to put it on the center. Chaotic plays off the backboard again, but I don't know if they have that third player rotation coming through. They're a bit further forward up, but a great job getting the rotation in the defense at least. PKXL had a good attempt on that one, but it couldn't quite get it more of a touch. They did go for the demo in that secondary play. Oh, off the backboard, they almost got a double for themselves. Didn't quite work out for them. They're still fighting. They're still firing on this attack. Try and get off the backboard. Cam just flicks it out wide to Casper. Almost gets intercepted by Gus, but didn't quite have the positioning there. Casper plays off the side. Off the boards to Chaotic. Whoops, forgot that one for a sec. As Cam just bounces forward. Has some room to work with on the attacking line. He's going to play it off the backboard. Try and set it up for someone else. Casper gets a demo to Crookie as well as a play into the middle of the field, but Gus has just intercepted this one. They need to find more speed. Actually, it's fine. The slow play baits the defender. And here it is. The Aware Wolves are now on the board. And yeah, that slower play just took both the defenders off guard, and Crookie just able to slide that one through. 1-6 scoreline. It doesn't look impressive, but that first goal, overcoming that first mental hurdle, is significant. Chaotic now is actually going to fly up high. Might be able to drop this one down. Actually, it's Cam who's going to try and make a waterfall. Crookie is going to be able to pass this one off the side. Casper gets a good interception. They're holding this mid-pitch fantastically. Gus off the corner. They can get another one quickly. This might feel better for them. PKXL tries to get the setup. Ends up being Chaotic who gets to it first, though. The midfield control is a big contest. PKXL puts the ball in a dangerous position. I mean, Chaotic does manage to pull that one aside, but it was the double commit from the defense. They're going to have a bit of an awkward maneuvering before they get back in their full strength defensive setup, I guess. But they can form up on defense. That's a better way of putting it. 1 second, hits. Ball's going to hit the ground. There is Vanguard taking game 1 and doing it in in a strong, resounding scoreline, but not necessarily without looking like the werewolves had no chance, you know? I like some of the things I was seeing from them, especially that last minute, really, really good. But again, look at the score difference, look at the shot difference between those two teams. I didn't get a chance to see exactly what it was because I was updating our lovely scoreboard at the top of the screen. But there was so many more shots for Vanguard, and if you have more shot attempts, you're just going to score more goals, right? It's logic, it's basics. But that's fundamentally what creates the difference in these sort of games. Bit of a delay on the play there. All right, we're good. It's fine. I was a little bit worried that we disconnected or something like that. Rocket League Server's been really good recently. Casper actually fakes the kickoff. Cam doesn't get the touch they might have liked, though. Ends up being credited as a save as Chaotic's going to try and power this one out of the corner. Flicks over the top first. Doesn't get much more of a contact, but it's okay because Casper with a backup. Fantastic off the backboard. Can Cam put it through? Textbook goal once again from Vanguard to put themselves up 1-0 in this series, and much faster than they found in that last game. Look at that backboard play. So good. So good. And like, these kickoff plays, these fast momentum kickoff plays are so hard to defend against because normally you kind of see how the ball's going, you see how the play is going to rotate, and you have some time to form up. But something like that quick just counter punch is... You don't have that sort of time to set up your defensive line. You are scrambling from all sides of the pitch. And it's a little bit awkward. Casper, the gentle touch off the tires. If the part of your car, which part of your car hits the ball changes the speed the ball is hit with. That was a terrible way of explaining it, but hopefully you get me. But yeah, the tires are the softest part of the car, and as such, have the least amount of give the ball the least amount of momentum coming off them, which means that you can make shots like that. Casper just pulls it off the boards again, finds two quickly, and once again Vanguard back in control of this game. I mean, I think the werewolves, they have opportunities and things, but they just look a bit scrambled. They look like they weren't ready for the speed and pace of Vanguard. And to be fair, I've casted pro teams to be taken off guard by this. I don't think take nothing away from the werewolves here. I know that, you know, it sounds a bit, you've got to give a medal to both sides, but seriously, I mean, Vanguard are really good. I don't think people maybe have the perspective for just how fantastically well this team is playing. It's sort of, I'm actually a little bit surprised. I haven't seen a huge amount of them in other leagues because they look that good. The talent in Wagga is clearly nothing to be sniffed at. That's all I'm going to say. 4 minutes still on the clock and 4 goals already fired out by the side of the Vanguards. Great shepherd onto Crookie there. Yeah, just like everything kind of coming together in this game. All of the different fundamentals of the game are on display. I kind of want to actually, I'm tempted to go through all of the members of the werewolves. Oh, well, I'm seeing it happen anyway. And have a look at their cars because they're fantastic. I love it. I always have to touch on this. I'm sorry people who are just here for the Rocket League, just here for the video games. But honestly, these cars are kind of cool. They've got the synchronization. They've all got the hats. Cam, lovely touch off the front as well to find themselves another goal. Again, a lot of Octanes in this match being used to pretty good effect. I mean, okay. Yeah, okay. I was really worried that was going to be like the one non-Octane in this game, and I always forget the name of that car. That one in particular. It's like the second most common car, and I never remember the name of it. It's like the better version of the Breakout, but again, that doesn't really help. But yeah, the cars are being used to such good effect by Vanguard. It's so hard to find much more to say about the game itself, outside of the fact that it's just... Vanguard is so good. They're phenomenal. They're backing each other up. They're getting defensive rotations. They have they have sort of double committed on the defense a few times, you know, sending 2 players up, having both those players, sending 2 players to attack a shot on goal, which means that you then don't have anyone left in goal afterwards because you have to commit a fair bit to save some of these plays in Rocket League. And that's like their one weakness I can identify. Elsewise, their attacks are pretty good. Not every shot goes on target, but the ones which don't are set up for previous players and are defended by someone else, and then usually put in exactly like Cam. Like, that exact play is what I'm talking about. Is exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, the shot on wasn't quite perfect, but Cam was there in the middle of the field. They bounced it off the wall. Fantastic aerial control, put straight in the net. Just everything you could want from a Rocket League team, minus the fact that, yeah, sometimes the defense is a little scrappy. This kickoff goal could be perfect. The only thing which would have saved that was a pinch in defense. That's it. And even then, I don't know how likely that is. Both players go for the boost. Bit of miscommunication there, and they both try and run back. Getting a good effort, getting a touch on it at least. But, yeah, with 3 minutes to go, 7-0 scoreline. Vanguard just look phenomenal right now. Big play off the backboard, though. Crocky is going to put it right above the goal. Casper tries to clear it out, but doesn't quite work through. Where's the second player? Pardon me. PKXL keeps that one active for at least a little bit longer, but not long enough. Wow, Cam, that's rude. That's not nice. Don't just knock your player out of the road because you want to be the one to carry the ball up. I mean, okay. Okay, fine. It ends up with a goal, but it's still rude. Don't do that. As it is, I mean, it's at least Casper getting the score credit for it, so, you know. But geez, these teams have just looked... Yeah. They've just looked so good. They've looked absolutely... Vanguard's looked so fantastic on the attack. There's just nothing else to say about it. They've got a good defensive play as well. Casper going to patiently pass this one out. Going to go off the corner. Actually, puts in a very good shot. It's going to be right above the corner, above the goals once again. Cam goes to clear that one out. Doesn't quite get it. Chaotic should be the first one to this ball. A bit of miscommunication as to which defender is going to clear that. And again, that was the point I was kind of trying to identify. That does seem to be the main weakness for this Vanguard team, but it's not that easy to exploit given how good the individual skill sets of the players are. An attempt at the waterfall doesn't quite come through. Two players playing static in the defense. Actually, no, one playing off the wall. That's good. I like that. You generally don't want to have two players sitting like just sort of stopped in the box, even though that is like a strong and ish position. No third play gonna come through to get someone on the to get someone to touch that ball in. Pardon me, from the side of the Werewolves. Cam gets the dribble, gets the reset, flicks it over the top, and a 9-0 scoreline in the second game. So as all four of their wheels touch the ground, they get the ability to flip once again, or touch the ball, I should say. Get the ability to flip again, flick it over the top of the defenders, and just a fantastic mechanical exhibition. Casper wants another one, though. They want to try and break double digits. It's not going to happen right this second as Chaotic keeps it going, puts the ball right in front. Cam gets the touch off the back. Casper, can you get the 1-2-3 play? Doesn't, as a great intercept, a great aggressive touch from, I didn't see who it was. I think it was Gus, but it might not have been. Cam tries to keep the pressure on once again, though. Great effort this time, but definitely from Gus, just to stay in that box and keep the touches going to at least limit this scoreline a little bit. 1 minute remaining as Casper gets another touch, goes above the goals. Cam, yeah, covers it out wide again using a flip reset, but isn't really able to put that one, you know, on the goal, at least center it. The second shot kind of did, but it went a little bit too high as Casper just gets a touch, keeps it out of the hands of the defender, but that's not the right way, friends. It's going off the backboard. Cam ends up getting their own goal. This is something which seems to be a thing in AEL streams. You always end up with an own goal somewhere. It's just the rule of the stream. You know, this one, PKXL gets the credit for it, but yeah, I think we've had one stream this half of the year which hasn't had an own goal in it. It's absolutely ridiculous. Casper tries to put this one in the attacking goal, the correct goal this time. Doesn't really get the best of it. The ball's in the middle of the field. Chaotic tries to play it out wide. Does get past one of the defenders, has a flick on target. I think Cam is there to try and push it forward as well, but PKXL beats out two attackers to keep the ball alive for a little bit longer. Now it's Gus who's going to be carrying this one up. Has to win a 1v1 against Gus. Does a fantastic... wrong person. Does a fantastic effort of it nonetheless. Had to beat out Cam, in fact. My apologies. As Casper's going to try and keep this one going. One more goal for this game. Takes it to 10-1 with 3 seconds remaining. I think it's fair to say there's no comeback in this one. I expect we're going to see probably a 3-0 sweep as well, given just how good Vanguard look. I actually am really sad that I couldn't go back and have a look at that first game from the Werewolves, because I really think... Also, cute name. I feel like I haven't said this yet, and it's a travesty. The Werewolves is a very cute name. I love it. To go with their wonderful aesthetic and everything. I want to see the Werewolves first game. I want to see kind of where they go from here as well, because they're not bad players. Vanguard are just very, very good players. Like, look at that. Look at those number of shots from Vanguard. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can do the maths yourself, but it's a lot of shots. That's more than you normally get in a Rocket League game. I guess they do get 10 goals, and those 10 goals have to come from somewhere. But yeah, just so strong on the offense. Able to get back and rotate on the defense all right, but it's not quite as solid. You know, it's the defensive efforts from the side of Vanguard, slap on the wrist. Not quite perfect. Sorry, I need to update the scores. My apologies. There we go. Okay. Actually, it's Vanguard putting the back foot as we cut straight back to the game. PKXL wants to get a touch on this. Actually, it's gonna be Crocky who gets a good control in the mid pitch, but not feeling comfortable to kind of carry this one forward. Something which we've seen a little bit from the Werewolves is the fact they're not able to keep following the ball, keep attacking it. They're a little bit more tentative on the play. And, you know, that tends to happen when you get put against a team who's this good. You have that hesitance on the attack. You tend to rotate back a bit more. Pass back to Cam is really, really good. Again, show of kind of experience coming through from the side of the Vanguards. But, yeah, the Werewolves, they've fallen into this trap, this tendency for a lot of teams when they're faced with really, really, really good opponents to fall back on defensive plays. And they're not terrible at defensive plays. You know, the defensive play is fine. But if they don't attack the ball, they're never generating goals. If they don't attack their opponents, actually, that's a great way of attacking your opponent. PKXL just goes straight for the demo. But again, not enough pressure being put on. Not enough speed on the attack either. Great touch by Cam, straight past the defender. Another class goal from the side of Vanguards. This one comes over a minute into the game, so they haven't quite got that same fast scoring as they did in the previous game. But, you know, holding possession is really good. I like that from them. Holding possession, being able to play the ball off each other, guaranteed you're not giving anything up, is really good. And that's what we're seeing from the Vanguard here. But yeah, going forward, attacking the play, making your opponent awkward, might actually, might be the answer for the Werewolves. I think it might be a little late into this game for adaptation, even if they are able to take this game, which is looking a little bit rough. No one there for that third pickup. No third player there for the pickup off the backboard. Crocky does put the ball in a decent spot. Actually, this one's going to waterfall straight down. I don't know if the defenders can get to it. It's going to be an opportunity. PKXL almost finds it. But actually, when you see it from a different angle, it was a little bit too close. Crocky has an opportunity as well here. Doesn't quite get it, though. Again, the angles aren't quite working out. And the counter hit straight down the field from Caspar finds another goal. Again, the two goal cushion. That's ideal in Rocket League. I mean, hey, a 3 or 4 goal cushion is even better. But keeping it to at least 2 goals is good. You don't overextend for the attack, but you don't want to give your opponent a 1 goal in. Because one individual goal can come from just about nothing in a game like this, and, you know, Vanguards are aware of that. Chaotic trying to make a solo play here, gets shut down by PKXL. Great discipline by the defense to clear that one out to the corner. It seems like I'm losing my voice a little bit. Casper going to flick this one over the top off the crossbar. Crocky, great awkward touch, but it was kind of read by Cam. Played back off the backboard, but the 1-2-3 play doesn't come in from Chaotic. And so now it's run down the entire field. Crocky with a K has some passing options, has the ability to go for them, but just couldn't get the touch as Casper, again, was the one to intercept that. Gets demoed, but puts the ball in a good enough position that the teammates are able to run it down and set up the attack. Casper now back on the play, goes for the double, doesn't get it. Ends up waterfalling, but Cam was not ready for that one. They were expecting the pass. And now Crocky has a chance to counter hit themselves. Just ticking over halfway in what could be the final game of the day. If the Werewolves aren't quite able to find more in this one, and Chaotic is actually the one to find another one. Puts the shot on target pretty well. I believe this was an intercept. Actually, it was just getting rough from Casper, I should say. Casper gets a bit of an intercept, I guess, just running straight into your opponent. That counts as an intercept. But that's the sort of thing I wanted to see the Werewolves do. It's something which is very helpful. Just get close to your opponents. Don't be afraid of them outskilling you, because they're going to do that if you give them space. Just get aggressive, get in their face. Crocky had a bit of an opportunity there, but again, I think the ball was out a bit too wide. Cam's just going to flick this one on target. Has Chaotic possibly if they need the pass play, but absolutely do not. With 2 minutes left to go in this game, a 4-0 lead. It looks like Vanguard might be the undefeated team from Group B, or at least I believe there are going to be 2 out of this, if my maths is correct. So one of those undefeated teams coming out of Group B. And to be fair, they deserve it. I would not be surprised if they are the top dogs in this tournament. You know, if they are absolutely going to be one of the last two teams remaining, possibly even anything out of the series, the way they look, the way they play, just fantastic. Cam's going to try and flick this one into the center. I think going for a bit of a pinch there. Didn't get the best of it though, so PKXL going to run this one down the field, tries to flick it back, get a bit tricky, try to bait out some defenders, but in fact just gets demoed for their efforts. And the counter attack comes through strong, something which, I mean, Vanguards have found all sorts of attacks, success with all sorts of attacks, but the counter hits have been especially good. And the fact that the Werewolves haven't had as much speed on their defensive rotations as Vanguard have. There it is, that exact shot we were just talking about, straight down the field. The attempt from the defender was there, but it wasn't quite enough. They weren't quite there fast enough to the plate. And it's just exactly what I talked about, you know. But still, you know, I'm saying this series isn't over, but that's not necessarily to say that I think that the Werewolves are coming back in it. That's a bit too much of a hard ask, you know. Not many teams would be able to come back from a scoreline like this against Vanguard. We're getting into like pro player territory at that point, and you know that's not quite what we've seen from the Werewolves. I like them. I like the team. I really like feel good about this team, but the class from Vanguard. I've said it a few times. Sorry to keep repeating myself, but it's just so good. Their ability to pull plays out from every which way off the backboard again. Cam didn't find the angle on that shot though, as the ball's going to be pinched upfield relatively slowly though. It's not going to get too much forward momentum. Gus tries to flick that one back to Crocky. A great pass goes over the top of a couple of defenders. Caspar going to be forced to put that one into the corner. Gus still contesting. Gus managed to beat out two of them. PKXL and Gaspar both going to be able to run this one over the corner. Almost chaotic. Gets a perfect save. Crocky now back on the defense. Gets demoed by Cam, but does put the ball in a bit of an awkward position. PKXL answers back with a demo of their own. Play off the backboard here. 17 seconds left to go right at the moment. It's all a matter of whether or not you can find a goal here for the side of the Werewolves. Because if they are able to force a goal at this point in the game, you've got to feel so good about yourselves. Because Vanguard's a incredible team. They use that tee shot from Caspar. 1 second left. Ball hits the ground, and that is it. That's our series. Vanguard take it 3-0. And I don't see them dropping a game anytime soon with skills like that. This team is absolutely incredible. It's so hard to explain and articulate just how good this Vanguard team is. Again, huge credit to the Werewolves. I like them. I really hope we get to feature them on stream again soon. I'll bring this back to me so you can see me talking for a little bit longer, but a huge effort from Vanguard. They looked fantastic. They had really good rotations for attack. They had pretty good consistent shots. You know, there was some good efforts from the Werewolves to keep those at bay. But they were able to set up different attacks. They had pass plays. They had quick rotations, speed. They were able to put the ball in the right spot continuously. But at the end of the day, you know, they're a fantastic team. That's all there is to say about it. I don't know why I'm trying to add more nuance to that. Teams like that don't drop games often. Huge credit to Werewolves. They played out the 3 games. They were attacking until the very end, and that is really good mental attitude, and that's sort of what I love to see from a team. Hopefully we see them again on stream, like I said before. But for now, I believe that is pretty much us. I'll run you through the sponsors again because they are the ones who make all of this happen. And without them, and also without the Wagga Wagga City Council, who have been fantastic in helping us put on this event, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. So thank you so much to Chartime, our presenting partner. You know, what is your favorite flavor? Let us know on social media. Pardon me. Predator. They are a fantastic computer company. Conquer new worlds with Predator Gaming today. AOC, some of the best, clearest monitors you can buy. Great for watching, great for playing, great for just, you know, showing off to your friends if that's what you want to do. Of course, Indomie, video game with Indomie, the best snack to be watching Rocket League with, or even to be celebrating or commiserating with your teammates. And finally, Rig headsets. What it takes to win. Have a look at all of their websites. They are there. If you didn't quite catch them, they are going to be in the VODs. And I'm sure if you tuned into another one of our streams, they will have plenty more details about them. But check out the social medias and the information, ael.org.au/Riverina, if you want to be kept in the loop about what's happening with this tournament. Of course, the AEL Esports Facebook page, which is where you are now, hopefully, is, you know, a great place to follow, to keep an eye on all of the tournaments we have. Quite a few variety, quite a few games. And of course, my social media just below me down here at the underscore far underscore fetched. You think I'd know that by now? But yeah, thank you to all 4 teams for coming through. We'll have more games the same time next week. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the stream as much as I did.